Hey guys, welcome to another video. So this week we're going to talk about strings. So what's important is we've talked a little bit about some coding within Android Studios, but I showed you how to rename the button, how to add some text a little bit. So those weren't best practices, those were just to kind of get you started. So in this video we'll talk about best practices, and so this video we'll talk about strings, and then we'll go in and start actually building some applications and so forth. So this will just get us started. So let's get started. So as promised, I got the full view going this time. So hopefully you can see the screen. Alright, so let's start off here and talk about strings a little bit. So first of all, let's go into my activity. And as you see here in my activity, I have a play game. So this right here would be considered not best practice, because what we don't want to do is we don't want to keep naming a button in one location across the board. So let's put do not name button here. Alright, so there's a location for all of this information. So if you remember, we have our resources. So if we go down to resources and values, there is a area called strings. So if I click on strings, notice the name of our app. So let's find my app right here. You notice how it's called my app? How does it get that value? It gets it from here. So let's change this to something else. Let's call it, well, you could call it what you want to call it. We'll call it Steelers app, unofficial app. Okay, so let's go ahead and resave that or rerun it and see what happens. Alright, look at that. Steelers unofficial app. You know why? Because it got the value from here. So if I go back into my code and excuse me, it's grabbing the app value from the string location. So we go back to strings, and we could create a value for the button. And so what we could do is, second here. Alright, so we'll come down here, hit enter, and we'll type in, so we're using XML, we'll do string name equals, and we'll put button name, so we'll keep it the same concept that we have here. We'll type in a value here, so we'll call it send this time. And then it's just like that. So right now it says play game. You know what, let's say submit. Okay, so let's go ahead. Now here's the thing, I'm going to show you something. So I changed it there. Now I run it. What happens? Should it appear there? Yay or nay? It's not there yet. Well, if this is an actual live class, I'd ask you why, but we can't. So think about it. I have to go back to my activity, and I need to change this value around because it doesn't know, because I didn't tell it to do it yet. So I'm going to take this out of here. I need to grab my resources. So if I do r dot, and what type of resource is that? It's a string. So I'll do string dot, and then it pulls up whatever values I have here. So in this case, I have a button name. I'll choose button name. So now let's go ahead and rerun it and see what happens. Look at that, it has submit. This right here is best practice. So best practice means anytime you want to put anything on multiple screens, it doesn't matter if it's on this screen or, like, for example, if it's on this activity or that activity, you want to ensure that you are you are putting this information here. This is the official location where you want to store this information. So this makes sense, better sense at least, because you're keeping it in one location. So this right here, moving forward, make sure that you utilize the strings. This is best practice, and this is it on this video. It's a short and sweet video on strings. Real quick, I'm with that. So if you have multiple people working on an app, so like for example in this project, there'll be a project that you'll have multiple people working on together, and And the thing is, you guys will be able to go in here and work in a central location where you can modify and make changes and so forth. So this makes it nice and easy. All right, if you have any questions, you know how to reach me. Thanks for watching and have a great day.